Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 648. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. This week we're talking The Warriors. Can you dig it?
Were you looking for an answer or was that rhetorical?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just put it out there. Let happen whatever happens. Before we jump into the game and our thoughts on it and rank it and review it and all that fun stuff, Matt, prior to the Warriors, what was the last movie-based tie-in video game that you remember playing?
There's gotta be something between it, but Spider-Man 2 comes to mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm sure you've done something since then. In fact, I cheated. You always have the short end of the stick on this because I throw the question out after I've already poured through my
I mean, I know
answer.
I know there's a better answer, but the Spider-Man 2 is one I did play at the time
Yeah,
of
yeah.
release.
Did you play Space Jam: A New Legacy back
Fuck
in
no.
2021?
No.
Oh, you missed out.
Uh-huh.
Did you play John Wick Hex?
I didn't. I own it, but I did not play it.
You definitely played Friday the 13th,
Okay.
the game. I'm just looking through it games based on film. The Mummy Demastered I played a good bit
I
of.
did not play that.
I was playing that as recently as last year because it loads a lot faster on Switch 2 now. It's actually pretty good if you want a cool Metroidvania. It's a decent game. Did you go back to Mad Max or were you just flirting with the idea?
I played some Mad Max.
Recently? I feel like
Not recently. I probably have threatened to do it a number of times.
that might be what I'm thinking of.
I've played at least a few hours of that Mad Max game.
I think the only other one is not a recent game, but I think the most recent thing I probably spent time with was Green Lantern Rise of the Manhunters for the DS, which, yes, is tied to the 2011 Green Lantern movie that forever cursed the Green Lantern franchise from making it on screen until later this year, hopefully. Believe it when I see it. But that one was another fun little side-scrolling adventure game on the DS. Speaking of last week's video game, but this week we're diving into The Warriors, developed by Rockstar Toronto, published by Rockstar Games, released on PS2 and Xbox on October 17th, 2005. Welcome to me being 16 years old. Back of the box. Rockstar Games presents The Warriors. New York, 1979. A battle on the streets. The armies of the night number 60,000 strong, and tonight they're all after the Warriors, a street gang wrongly accused of killing a rival gang leader. The Warriors must make their way from one end of New York to their turf on the other side of the city. All that stands between the Warriors and their survival are 20 miles and thousands of street gang members. The army of gangs owns the streets, and there's no turning back. They must fight for their lives and learn the meaning of loyalty as danger and uncertainty emerge from the city night. Matt, we got 6 screenshots on the back of the box. Rich, deep storyline, including all the intense action of the movie, epic open city environments for massive free-flowing gang brawls, control your gang members using war chief commands, play as 9 different warriors with a huge range of visceral fighting moves and combos, a 2-player co-op mode, and incredibly varied gameplay with many different ways to fight or outsmart your enemies. The Warriors. There you have it. I'm surprised. There's one thing they did not address on the back of the box that I thought they'd want to. Maybe it's on the front of the box. I will look that up while you tell me you added the Warriors to the list.
I did.
Is our second Rockstar game
Yep.
after you'd previously added Bully. What brought you to adding the Warriors? Where'd this one come from?
I so all right. So I like this era of Rockstar. I obviously Grand Theft Auto is a little game you may have heard of, right?
Some people have heard of Grand Theft Auto. I think maybe.
I would think. I was just always fascinated by this era, and I could never get my hands on these games. And I think I'm just reliving this missing piece of my childhood I always wanted through the list.
Yeah.
By playing Bully and now the Warriors. I might be out of Rockstar games from the PS2 era finally though, so we'll see. We'll see come season 15 how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I'm curious. Did you ever play Manhunt?
I haven't.
Okay.
I've seen
Stay tuned for season 15.
I've
apparently.
seen the gameplay loop though. I'm not very excited about Manhunt.
It is definitely like spoiler alert a little bit for some talk about the Warriors, but like there are things you do even in this game where I felt like it was tough to be like, okay, like there's just like some of the actions they ask you to do. It's like you could technically do those things in GTA, and there are some missions where you're asked to do those things in GTA, but it never feels like as gross as it kind of did here. I don't know why, but some of the characters you're just like, really, dude? Like that's all right. Manhunt, though, yeah, you're just like a dude who gets out of prison, and it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah, it's not even that. It's like literally the gameplay loop. It does not seem like all that great of a game.
no,
Never
you're
played.
creeping around and murdering people. Yeah,
I've never played it, but it does not even seem like it's one of those things. I think it's scenes of death got it
yeah.
very popular and well known.
The shock value of it was just like, oh, you can do what? Like I remember renting it, playing, enough of it to kind of understand what was happening and
Uh,
not getting far because I feel like I just got stuck or bored or
it's a
both.
weird. I think it's obtuse and it's hard.
Yeah,
So yeah, at least for me, I would not expect a manhunt or two, coming from me at least.
yeah. All right, we'll see. Well, then, yeah. Other than that, I mean, I think the only one of that era you've not played. I mean, outside of the midnight clubs,
Yeah.
uh, you never did San Andreas fully all the way through. So there's that.
No, I've never technically beaten Vice City all the way either.
All right, so season 15 has some potential, it seems. For Rockstar, that is. Um, do you remember hearing about this game in 2005?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't think I knew the movie. It was like,
Yeah,
but I knew who Rockstar was. I very much
sure.
again, the little known game, Grand Theft Auto indie hit. I was kind of was in on that one. I knew what that game was, so I was paying attention to
Man, look at you
Rockstar.
ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
Back
real
to
ahead of the
Grand
curve.
Theft Auto.
Uh, um, but no, I saw they were coming out with this, and I was like, oh, this is based on a movie. I did a little research on the movie, saw like kind of what it was, and at the time, I kind of equated it to this is it's West Side Story, but more serious, no songs.
I kind of had that same vibe too. I don't know why, but yeah. All right.
But no, I never ended up watching it. But I always thought it was this weird, like, oh, this looks like a brawler, which is a lot different than Grand Theft Auto, where you're shooting a lot. I just thought this was like a weird little game. Like, why are we doing a movie? Like, why all of a sudden are we making a game based on a movie from 1979? Like,
Right,
just
it
a
seemed
weird
really weird.
thing. And then it came out. It had like decent reviews from what I remember. Just like kind of like Bully. Like Bully had not the 10s,
Yeah.
but it had like the 8s, some 9s, the 7s, depending on
Yeah.
who was reviewing it. And this kind of came and had the same thing. And it's so weird because like in the lead up to the season, we had already announced things, but I was at a bachelor party and we got on the topic of this game. And I was like, oh my god, I'm about to play. And dude's like, oh my god, it's like one of my favorite games ever. Like just like, and
That's
I
so
feel like
funny.
I've like since then I've been paying more attention to some of the communities around this game. And I think you're gonna have some people who are like, oh, it's just an okay game. And then there's some people that just fucking love this game. So I got me very excited for the playthrough when we got to it. But yeah, and picking it is just really, this is another one of those Rockstar games that got away from me in the PS2 era.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I literally was 16 in 2005, so I remember having a car and having a job and disposable income to buy stuff. So I would go to Best Buy a bunch. Mainly in that era, I was buying DVDs, CDs. I was buying games, but games for me in that era were limited and more like, what am I gonna play when my friends come over? Like we played Guitar Hero a bunch, and on my own I'd be playing whatever Tony Hawk. Well, I guess at this point Tony Hawk was kind of had lost it. Uh, but yeah, I mean all of the Grand Theft Auto stuff was there. Uh, when this hit, I remember like Rockstar had been pretty consistent with annual releases since GTA 3 in some fashion. Like I forget how it all shook out, but like when this was coming out, it was like, why didn't they just make another GTA? And what is the Warriors like? And then you look at it and you're like, to your point, like yeah, it's a movie I've never heard of, and it's from like 10 years before I was born. Who cares? Like, what do you? Why would you do this? Why wouldn't you just make another Grand Theft Auto? And I remember, like, yeah, same thing. Like kids in school got it, or like you would just hear buzz about it. Like people liked it, but I never like I don't know. I never did it. And like the further along I've gotten, I'm like, still hadn't seen the movie, but I knew more of it. And like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
kind of
thing.
where I'm at. I didn't know about the movie when it came out. Learned about it. I was like, oh, I probably should see this at some point. And then, yeah, and leading up to this, I was like, I guess it's time to finally pull the trigger on everything I've been talking about for the last, or not talking out loud, but like
Yeah,
manifesting in my head for the last 15 years or whatever the hell it is. Longer than that, I guess.
21.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Um. Ooh, 21. I was 16, 21 years ago.
Warriors,
Sick.
the Warriors can
That's
drink.
yeah, for real. When did you first watch the movie?
Right before playing, literally the night before.
Yeah.
Um, no, so it was one of those things where I was like, "Hey, Victoria, I gotta watch this maybe kind of weird movie from." I thought it was in the '80s. I did not realize it. Just missed it. I was like from the
Hmm.
early to mid '80s, about gangs, and I don't know. It just seems like a weird action flick. If you want to watch it, you gotta watch it tonight because I'm starting the game tomorrow, and I'm gonna watch it before before I start the
Yeah, yeah,
game. And no, we watched it, and it's okay. It's a fine movie. I enjoyed it. I don't think
yeah.
it's like this revolutionary thing that needed a game 20
Right.
some years
Yeah.
later, but I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it.
But you finally got to hear the Warriors come out and play EA.
Yeah, and the three balls clink, which I thought was hilarious at the time.
Um, so I still didn't watch the movie.
Okay.
I wanted to before jumping in, and then I was like, I gotta just start the game. I'll watch it at some point when I have time, and I never like sat down and did it. Um, so from that perspective, I think you can still play this game even without watching the
Oh,
movie.
you
That
definitely can.
the what do you call it? The not the linchpin, but the like the impetus for the plot of the movie. They play that scene right at the beginning of the
Yeah.
game. Like you
And
can
and
just
it
yeah.
is shot for shot. Like they must have ran the footage through like a digitalization of some kind because
Mhm.
it is frame like perfect to a degree.
Yeah.
So that was neat to see when the game kick off because I mean it's gonna be tough to score the score or audio piece of this game because I love the movie soundtrack a fucking lot and they just
Hmm.
bury that in here. That score, that dun 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 dun, that
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
used enough. They kind of hammer it in a way in the movie, and I'm just like, I'm all for it.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, do you agree you can just play this without having
I
seen
think
it? Do you think having watched it enhanced your
I
time
think
with it?
so. I think some of those origin missions are kind of cool. Sometimes those origin missions were just to like throw a different game mode at you, like that weird King of the Hill mode, which I actually thought was awesome. Spoilers
Yeah,
for
yeah,
later in
yeah.
the game, um, but yeah, no, I kind of like that because the movie, this game does it to a degree without the origin missions, but the movie doesn't really like flesh out the characters because it's literally that first scene that's the opening
Yeah.
cinematic to this game, and then all hell breaks loose. One of the main characters from this game dies in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So like there you get to play with someone for like it, at least like 8 hours before like kind of like the events in the movie start to kick off. In this game that you got 5 minutes of screen time with in the movie.
Right.
That goes across all the characters that from in the Warriors gang or whatever. I don't know how much of that was free liberty though, and I forgot to look that up before recording. Was like Rockstar allowed to kind of just take creative liberty?
Oh,
Did the
yeah.
novel touch on some of the origins, and the movie just kind of picked like a starting point? That I don't know the answer to, but I didn't hate what Rockstar did to flesh out some of the characters and whatnot.
And I mean, from my perspective, it worked fine for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it.
yeah.
Um. So let's see. We kind of talked a little bit about what the game is, when it came out, uh, and the movie and why you decided to add to it. But the game itself, uh, there is like a side mode called Rumble mode that's optional, but primarily you're playing this for the story.
Hmm.
Um, the story mode is broken up across 18 chapters or missions, I should say.
Yeah, if you include the origin stuff, I believe.
Um, and how would you describe, like, I guess, I don't know how I want to approach this because I have like a very clear, like, aha moment that I had while playing this,
Okay.
but I don't know if I want to go there yet. I don't know. Um,
It's 23 missions, by the way, if you're still looking for how you want to phrase it. It's 18 main missions to flashback missions, which does count
oh,
towards
okay.
Rockstar's statistics of overall campaign progress, is 23.
Got it. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, so what's the setup for, I guess, the story mode? What are we doing here?
I it's so we hit it. Open cinematic where all hell breaks loose when Cyrus gets shot. And then it cuts back. It's essentially an origin story to the Warriors, and the origin, getting the members and kind of building up to being invited to the big meeting that Cyrus
Big meeting.
has,
Yeah.
and then catching back up to the present day for the last couple chapters. But no, it's essentially a how did the Warriors get to that point before the events of the movie, more so than rehashing the events of the movie over a long period of this game.
Yeah, and you are right up front. You're kind of introduced to the combat, and you learn pretty quickly that like combat is, I don't know about the focus, but it's pretty much the focus. Like where if you're coming to this used to GTA games or even Bully, right? If you just
Mm-hmm.
look at what we've looked at on the podcast before, Bully's not necessarily like combat is a means to an end, but it's not necessarily. And same thing with GTA. Like you can get in fights. You're probably shooting more than you are fist fighting in a
Mm-hmm.
GTA game, but even still, like you're not. That's not. It's also not the like the crux of most missions. Like most of the missions in either of those games are never like go to this mission marker and just beat up a bunch of people.
Right.
This
Yeah.
game is like we're going to teach you how to fight because most of the game you're either going to be beating up people or storefronts or cars, and like so you're learning that, and there is kind of a good combo system between
It's deep.
like normal, yeah, like normal heavy or normal attacks, heavy attacks, grapples, throws, using weapons. Uh, if you have extra spray paint on hand, you can do a paint
Yep.
attack. Um, what am I forgetting with with combat stuff? I don't know.
Picking up weapons. I
Yeah,
loved the cinematic, like the lock on cinematic of breaking a bottle over some dude's head and then stabbing him on the
yeah,
ground with it. Like
yeah.
that was a good fucking
They did that
feeling. Don't
well
know why.
because they did it well. Um, and most of the campaign, I'm like being reductive here, and like Matt said, there's already like some surprise missions throughout the game where you do some weird things, but I would say the bulk of the game missions, it's go here, beat up rival gang members, really just move from point A to point B, mission marker, and beat up things along the way. Um, there are there's variation to that, but like throughout it, you are brawling. And to me, the thing that kind of clicked at some point is this is Rockstar's interpretation of the beat 'em up.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Like, and it's a thing. Like once that kind of clicks, because I think if you look at this as, oh, it's like a not open world GTA game, that's weird. I think you can look at this with some negativity and sort of feel like down on it, or just sort of like it's less than. But when you look at it more like, hey, remember all those arcade like Ninja Turtles or X-Men or whatever else from like the 16-bit era in the arcades? What if we did that, but we did it in the GTA engine? And we brought forth like other mission types so that you're kind of building your characters up as you go. And you're like, you get different skills from some of the optional missions and stuff you do as you play too, which like enhance the character or enhance the options you have. So it is very like, again, it feels like an evolution of the beat 'em up, and it's like it works, and it is still. It's not open world in the sense that you're like running around Liberty City or Vice City or San Andreas or whatever, but it's open area. Like you're in these little pockets of New York City,
Yeah.
and like each level you're in for each of the missions, like it's as big as it needs to be. You can't really go outside of that. You're never gonna like hit a wall and be like, well, if I just keep going, I'm not in Coney Island, but whatever. Like I can be over here. It's not that because the game's meant to sort of like keep you on rails to an extent, um,
It
rather than be in a sandbox.
I said this to you, I think, as we were both playing it, or you were I forget how our time difference in playing it, but I hadn't a game you hadn't played, but maybe a listener has. Like I threw this out there to Mafia One, where you're never really truly in the open world, but you're driving from point A to point B like there is an open world. Um,
Yeah.
this is very much that, and I like in the GTA sense of it, it's like you if you were in that first that the red light district where Luigi's the first mission giver in Grand Theft Auto 3, I think, right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
If you are just trapped in the red light district and Luigi was feeding you mission after mission after mission, and then occasionally like one mission teleports you over to another section of Liberty City, like
Yeah.
that's kind of what this is. And to a
Yeah.
degree, some of them are more on rails. Some of them are a little bit more open area, depending on how the mission objective is. But you are never truly in an open world in the traditional sense of a
Mm-mm.
GTA or even Bully.
No, but and I think if you look at that as a negative, you probably won't enjoy this game as much. But if you look at this as, oh, this is a beat 'em up that has a story and a lot more structure to it, I think you'll have a really good time. Um,
Yeah.
it's fluid. It has that like motion like a beat 'em up does, where you get to the end of it stage, you can a lot of times like cash in the rewards you got from that stage and level up. Like you're not necessarily doing that in this case, but like there is an intermission period between levels where you can kind of do some other stuff if you want to. You can train, You can do extra missions. There's the rumble. I didn't do the rumble. Did you do the rumble?
I didn't know. I really didn't, but I was getting kind of I think what I wanted out of some of the extra missions because about half of those extra missions are like go take out gang that's on your turf. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where this
There's a
game.
lot of gangs in this game.
There's a lot of gangs in the
Uh,
movie, and like that
yeah.
opening
Okay.
cutscene like shows just how many gangs are in New York, and that and not all of them are even at the thing, and that's part of what the kind of like the chapters like 10 through like 14. It's like trying to get the warriors on the map because they're hearing about this meeting and they feel they need to get there and trying to get the reputation up to an extent. Um,
Sure. Sure.
so that kind of plays into it. But yeah, like every block, it's like, oh god, whose ground are we treading in? That's not our home.
Right. Right.
You kind of feel that. But I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Where were we?
Oh, all good.
You're talking
We
about.
were talking through that kind of like stage based thing, the in between leveling up, doing extra
Oh right,
missions.
the extra missions. That so I yes, this is a brawler, and any listener of the show over the past years would know Matt doesn't like brawlers. So why is he talking so highly of this game all of a sudden? And I think it's to what Joe said. My biggest thing about brawlers is that you can just mash square, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of over, and you can learn some of the combos, but it's usually not needed until like a boss fight or something like that. This you can mash square, but I don't know how successful you're gonna be. And then
No. Yeah, you'll get ganged up on pretty.
and then I think what I really like about this is when, especially when you get to like these bigger, like just gang on gang battles, I love the interactivity of like you're just in a mob and you're just going and finding someone and punching him in the face. And it really reminded me of one of my favorite features of Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings game. Like when the
Yeah.
castle sieges were happening, you're just running around as main dude, just hitting orcs as you see them and trying to get from point A to point B. It's a lot of that in this game, and I like loved it. It's a lot of fun to be in the chaos as things are just happening. Like just do fucking like body it's crossbody flying in the air at you just out of nowhere. Like it's wild.
And I can't think of like another game where you really get this type of, especially from this perspective. Because
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are like the 2D side scroll, like the belt scrollers as you call them. But you don't really get that with like 3D games in this sense. It's interesting. Um, I don't know. I guess like do we talk through some of the different mission types, like or the things like for me, like one of the first variations I remember was the spray paint mission, where it was like it's like the second mission. It's not far in, but like right away, it's no longer like okay, punch stuff. It's like you gotta go clean up or put the W over a bunch of other tags, and they have you actually like draw with the right analog stick a W. Later on, you have to do a little bit more nuanced things with some of the spray painting. Um, you've got to break into cars for a mission
Yeah,
and
stealing
get
stereos.
steel stereos.
I
Um,
I did like the busting up storefronts.
yeah, like for me, I think the mugging was a bit where I'm like, ah, this feels gross. Like
It does feel gross, but you are a gang at the end of the day.
I know, and like you have to remember that. I get that, but yeah, it was definitely just like this feels gross. Like breaking into the car was one thing because there's no person you're like,
Yeah.
but and this is probably like I'm 36 instead of 16, so I'm a little like things have changed. I wasn't mugging people at 16 either, but still, you get my point. Like I probably wouldn't have thought about it as much as a teenager. Um, but yeah, like in this, the breaking into cars was like all right, but yeah, the storefront stuff, like the smashing and like, because you got a meter. I think that's what it is. Like with the mugging, it felt like unnecessary, but this, like, there's a meter. I gotta loot.
Yeah.
I gotta fill
Yeah.
the meter of, did I destroy enough property? Did I steal enough stuff? All those things. You also have, I kind of read it on the back of the box, but you you can control your gang members with war chief commands. So it's a function where I think it's depending on the character. I don't think every character can do it.
It's whoever the war chief is, and the war chief is typically who you play as.
I
Especially
thought there
like
was one other that you could do it as, but yeah, you might be right. It might just be
um I
Cleon.
well, and that's part of the thing in the movie. The war chief is assigned out via assignment. Is not always what's his
I
face?
see.
What was it
Swan.
Cleon? No, well Swan
Cleon.
it essentially takes over, but going into that meeting, he was not the war chief.
Okay.
It was I think it was Cleon was the war chief. But yeah, you pretty much always play as the war chief, so you always get the commands. How much I actually use them, though, like when the game kind of told me to, I did. I didn't
Mostly,
really.
yeah. Yeah.
There was a couple times where I did throw out the command like cover me in those rumbles because I just felt like I was getting ganged up on. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
where where are the rest of my members at right now?
Yeah. I need help. That said, there are difficulty options in this game, which I don't remember seeing in any of the other Rockstar games. Maybe Bully had
No,
it,
I
but
don't remember Bully having it.
I
Or
don't know. Yeah, I'm just thinking like if there was one, Bully might have, but this is the first time I remember seeing that. Um,
yeah, I mean, I obviously I did normal for our playthrough, but I'm curious about what a like I think it's called brutal or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I'm curious to see how hard that because there are times in this game it got hard and like at the end like you can't get away with mashing square. Like you have to learn to grapple, you have to learn to reverse, you have to
yeah,
if there's a weapon around, you should probably have that in your hand and not just beat people up with your fist. Like
yeah.
there's a lot. Again, there's a depth to it. It's a unique little brawler.
Did you have a favorite gang? Because I think like in one of the brawlers, like one of the things that always is important is the what you're fighting, right? You want variety, you want that kind of stuff. So the fact that they did have so many different gangs represented, to your point, matches the movie, but also makes for good like
Yes.
just gameplay variation. And they were able to do like there's so many different costumes and designs and people. Like, yeah, did you have a favorite to go up against?
Oh,
Or
baseball theories for sure. Like just
yeah, same. I love
people
the makeup, dude.
make yeah makeup and pinstripes, and they all have bats. It's like okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's really good. I
Uh,
think they were my favorite.
I did. Who's the first? Shoot, who? What's the name of the first gang that they come across when they're going back
Oh,
home?
the Destroyers, right?
Nope. Sorry, second gang. So they get away from the bus, and it's the people with the white shirt, and that's when they meet Mercy, the woman.
Is it the Hurricanes?
No, I can't remember. The orphans. The orphans.
The Orphans. Okay, okay. Yeah.
I did like because they portrayed because the game in the movie they do come across the orphans in the movie obviously, but the game they do like in the prequel part of it there's a segment with the orphans and destroying the car and them being pushovers, which I did enjoy because they were one of the gangs that the Warriors come across in the night that did not get invited, and they were trying to act like hard that they were like they had this great
Uh
rep, and everyone's like, "You weren't there. You're not that big of a deal."
yeah, yeah.
um, I thought they were portrayed well, but yeah, like but like they all like meet this like weird niche stereotype, and because there's just so many of
Yeah.
them, you almost hit like all of them in weird ways, like the Lizzies, of course.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Um, of course, there's an all girl gang, like you know. Um, but yeah, no,
Is he in the movie as well? I
yeah,
assume. Well, I assume all these people.
that whole sequence is in the movie.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Well,
Yeah, I still want to watch it, but
not you trying to break down the door repeatedly while not getting shot. It a little bit more sped up, but
sure. Well, I guess to that point, did you have any like significantly frustrating moments throughout this game? Because I remember a few things from Bully. I think there's always like, there's some There's some like tail missions from Grand Theft Auto that always stand out as like, ugh.
Dealing with the cops to an extent is a pain.
It can, yeah, because they can kind of like not overwhelm, but like
But they spawn
they get,
endlessly, so you kind of like you can't fight your way out of it because they just keep coming, and you can't knock out or kill
yeah,
anyone in that in that short of time. They'll come back immediately. So you kind of have to like run and hide and go for the best. Which I guess hiding is another mechanic, which is such a video game moment if I've ever seen one.
yeah.
Just hide in the shadows,
You
and
gotta
you're
have stealth. Yeah.
just hide in the shadows. No one sees you. You could be 3 inches
The
away.
literally right in front of their face, like it doesn't matter as long as you're, yeah.
Um,
Um,
but no, like back to the police. Like there's kind of no choice but to run away from them in like 90%
yeah,
of those instances. So that can get a little. And like when you're trying to like create enough chaos in a city, and you're trying to break into a car, and the cops like right there, and as soon as you start, it's just gonna be a bad time. It gets a little
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. Um, did we cover everything we need to cover on combat? I guess.
Grappling system, weapons. I guess the main thing is if you've never seen the movie, it's hand to hand combat gangs. There are like no guns, so
Yeah,
like I know we dropped Grand Theft Auto a couple times, but zero guns. It's like bats, nightsticks, bottles, bricks, kind of shit you find on the ground. Crowbars, I think, are a thing in this game. Um, yeah, you're not no guns, so you're delivering
is that
the hurt.
refreshing for you?
I think it is, and I think it's the again, it goes back to that like this is a brawler, but not your traditional brawler. There's a little bit
Yeah.
more depth to it, to the at least the combat system of it.
What do you think story wise, this game does that the movie didn't do?
It gave the opportunity and time to let some of the characters breathe. Because again, who did I say? Well,
It,
it was
like,
like
oh yeah,
Cleon.
right.
Like Cleon has
Yeah,
5 minutes, but it has like a big role in this game as the leader and like the
yeah,
original person who broke away to create the Warriors. Gives him a chance. Yeah, so
yeah. You get
just
10 to
growing that.
15 hours versus 90 minutes or whatever, right? So,
Well, with him specifically, it's 5 minutes, if
well,
that.
yeah, that's yeah, yeah. Did you have a favorite mission or a standout section? They do
um,
tend to like, there's variety, but generally, it's linear enough.
I you know what? I didn't actually write down like a dumb mission. I the origin missions were fun. I love that King of the Hill mode. I'm sure that's in the brawl mode if I would have played that more. But
Oh yeah.
that
Do you want to talk about that one a bit?
yeah, so it's so there's the main campaign quest which takes place from the start of like the birth of the warriors up to and through the events of the movie. And then there are these special labeled origin missions where it goes through how each of the core members that you would know from the movie join the Warriors. And I forget what characters it was, but it's two of them. And there's a like the mission is just win King of the Hill, and it's literally like all like a junkyard of these cars and buses and trailers and stuff stacked on one another, and you have to climb them, get to the top of it, and then beat the shit out of everyone on top of it and throw them off. And it's like a time based thing where it's like a literally like Halo King of the Hill, where you just try to stay up there and you gather points as you beat the shit out of everyone. It was just a weird departure out of nowhere, like a third of the way through the game.
Yeah. Which like a lot of the Rockstar stuff like does that a bit where you can tell like they just wanted something different, or they were already toying around with like a prototype of something, and
Mm-hmm.
then it just made its way in. I think it was Swan, if I'm reading correctly.
That Oh yeah, because it wasn't like something like they kept calling him Cowboy. Oh, yeah,
Oh, Cowboy.
maybe not. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
No, no, no. Cowboys. According to this, Cowboys in it as well. But I can't remember. Um, yeah, I mean, generally most of my notes were more like my reactions to stuff I'm doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't have anything call out on like a level or a stage in general.
I will say, I guess you could probably guess as someone that didn't see the movie when the movie stuff hits.
You can feel it. Yeah, I would. I
But like
I at least have my assumptions.
but at least like my thing is like I really wish they would have given you like a point of no return thing that a lot of games
Hmm.
do nowadays, because you kind of just get stuck in it. Like you every to this point, the first what 14 chapters, 13 chapters, do a chapter, then a break, and you're back to the base. Obviously, for story purposes, you can't be back at the base. But I wish there was like a like they moved the hub to the subway
Or
for
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
something to allow you to like get a better save or just catch your breath or get away from the story beats, because it
yeah.
is I mean, you play through the movie essentially
At that point, yeah.
with some creative liberties, mind you, because it's a video game, but essentially it's the events of the movie.
Um, any other gameplay things we didn't cover or notes you had from like just that experience?
I don't want to like go too hard into like the ending of this game, but the ending boss fight did what the movie's anticlimactic ending didn't do,
Oh,
where it gave it like a
okay.
boss
So
fight.
yeah. Oh, I forgot you told me that you didn't love the ending of the movie.
Like it's fine. It's just like oh man, that's what we're gonna do to him. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
And I thought the credit scene was a lot of fun too, when you get to play and kind of deliver some hurt to a certain gang. Um, but yeah. Besides like this little like that little mini point of no return in the game, I feel like the pacing of the story's fine. It's
Yeah, and this
it
is an incredibly beatable game. Like,
yeah.
you know,
There's a trophy for playing if you play. So well, if you play on PlayStation 4, I played the PS2 port on PlayStation 4 because the store listing says it does not run well on a PS5. So the
dug
PS4
that
came
out,
out to play.
unearthed it.
um, there is a trophy on the PlayStation 4 for 10 hours of gameplay time, and I pretty much hit that right in the middle of the point of no return movie stuff.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I played on PS2. I will say it only happened once, but I freaked out a little bit where I finished a mission. I was back in the hub. It was pretty early on, like maybe like, I don't know, five, six, somewhere in there. And I went to go, or no, 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 I didn't make it back to the hub. I'd finished a mission and the hub was loading and it just said loading and it hung out there indefinitely. And I was like, okay, maybe it, I don't know, maybe something's happening. I'll go refill my coffee real quick and come back and check. And it hadn't. And I was like, I don't know. And this was like the first sitting I'd sat down with the game too. So I was like, I don't remember saving. Like, what what am I gonna do here? So I was like, all right, whatever. Like it had been whatever it was. Like again, like I was enough into it where it would have sucked to have to restart, but not enough where like it was in one sitting. So very like I could have done one sitting again, no big deal. But I turned it off, turned it back on, and I was right there. I loaded into the thing as if I'd saved after the so there's autosave just in case you're up against it. Autosave at the end of each mission as you're loading into the thing, apparently. It happens. So I guess it saved and then before it loaded the content, it just froze. And I looked it up and I saw like somebody on GameFAQs or something was complaining about the same thing, and it was like, check your disc. It's probably your disc, or I
mm-hmm.
don't know. But I only had it once, but that definitely like gave me like a um, visuals. How would you describe the look of the game? It's like
Um,
a me. Yeah, go ahead.
you go. You go.
I They go for realism, but with like a cartoonish, like a little slightly exaggerated world, but like it still fits in reality, I think. Plus the backdrop of New York, it looks like, I didn't go to New York until obviously not in 1979, but like anytime you see New York depicted in 70s or 80s movies, this feels like it captures that, at least like the world. But yeah, the characters have that kind of signature Rockstar
Yeah.
style, but maybe a touch realer than.
Yeah, it's a touch really, but I think because the open world is not part of it, they
Yeah.
can lean into it. Also, like I don't know how they did. Again, there's definitely something they ran through the footage for that digitalization, but live
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, I think the digitalization of the faces, because it didn't like recast anyone, like they used all the old actors portrayals for their character models. I thought
Yeah.
all that looked pretty good for
Yeah,
like
it did.
a 79 film on 2000. What year did this come out to? You said it
Five,
early.
2005.
2005
Yeah.
PS2 game. Like I think that
Yeah.
all, you know, considering the circumstances, turned out pretty well. Even even going into today.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I imagine the PS4 version of it looks pretty good too, right? Like the way they.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I mean, I don't think they upres it. I think it's just a straight port.
okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't, it's not like super dark or anything. It's not like trying to play PlayStation 2 on an HD TV without a retro
Where?
tint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like it look fine. Look like, but like I like again, I don't think I got any enhancement out of it either.
On the sound front, you were a little disappointed with the music.
No, 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 not disappointed with the music. Sorry, no, I like the
Oh,
soundtrack to
okay.
the movie. I like that. I like that score, and
Got it.
they just
Okay.
hammer it.
Okay.
Just,
I
the
got it.
more they
Okay.
hammered
I
it, the
didn't know if
better.
you. Okay. I thought you were like, okay, I got tired of it because of the movie. All right. No,
No,
I
no, no, no,
misunderstood
no, no, no.
that. The other sound piece is the voice acting, of which there's a lot, and of which they maintained most of the original cast. I
I
found out.
know.
I The first time you meet, I forget the character's name now, because I kept only thinking James Remar in my head every time I
Ajax.
saw him. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm looking at
You,
literally the
you would
casting.
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But
don't know. I have the casting to know.
as soon as I heard him, I was like, that sounds like James Remar. So they either got him or they got a real good. And I looked it up to see. It's like there were a couple actors who died not long after the movie was made, so they weren't obviously in the game. But most of the others they brought back to do their voices, which was cool that so many people like came back to do it. Um, do you feel like that gave it a level of like authenticity for you coming from the movie side, watching the movie?
Yeah, yeah, because I was kind of listening to that, and when you like what you said, not necessarily James Remar, but just in general, I was like, I don't think these are like, I think these are either they're using. Well, at first I thought it was just
Oh,
original voice lines from the movie, and I was like, all right,
right. Yeah, I
well,
looked into
I
that.
could again, you can digitally twist that or whatever, but
Sure.
when we got into the prequel territory, I was like, I know there's not footage of this.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't show this.
um, so I was impressed that I started hearing it. And again, I had watched the movie the night before, so the characters'
It was
voices were
fresh. Yeah.
fresh. I was like, man, this sounds very fucking good. And then yeah, I looked it up too and was impressed that they got as much as they got.
Overall, how does this compare to your expectations of going in to play this game?
I think it nailed it. I didn't know how much of a brawler this was, but I but then again, I didn't really watch the movie. So I think after in that short 24-hour turnaround of like watching a movie then playing this game, I think my expectations of this game from the past 20 some years changed overnight, and then
Mm,
everything kind of molded to what I thought this would be. because I didn't know about the no guns thing, or I guess to an extent. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know it was like that. I just thought they were like just people on the run, and they had to scratch, trying to gather what resources they could. Just didn't necessarily have them, but no, it kind of hit my expectations. I don't think this is like a 10 out of 10 perfect game, but I think this is one hell of a film adaptation for a movie from 1979, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that it's mostly like a prequel with the movie stuff baked in at the end, and I don't know. I like to an extent, like the game itself is good, but I just like the level of respect that Rockstar gave to it by like how it looks with the digital scans of the faces and the voice acting and using the original score and getting in the all the different gangs from the movie in multiple ways. It's like the respect level kind of comes and comes back to my feelings towards this game a little bit.
So you get now why they made a game out of the movie.
I still don't know why that movie, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
I appreciate that they did it now. Like it got me to watch this for the first time after hearing about when this game
Yeah.
came out, and then kind of just like slowly hearing about it throughout the years now.
Yeah.
Got me to watch it, and yeah, I got to play another Rockstar game and check a checkbox from my childhood that I couldn't experience.
Yeah, I was definitely, my expectations of this were low, only because I don't know. I just okay.
You didn't have a good experience with Bully.
I didn't have a good, but I ended up liking it mostly, I guess. But their spin-off, or not spin-offs, but their side games always felt, yeah, Bully was like State of Emergency, no.
I forgot
Not
that's a
at all.
game.
Right? Hey, now there's
No, no,
that's
that
been on
game.
my short
I'd rather
list.
play Manhunt. Everything I said about Manhunt does applies to State of Emergency times two.
So I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know how this one's gonna go. Um, and again, like, no shade to the movie, especially having still not seen it. But like, it was like, what what did they? What was the deal? Like, to me,
I have
this
no idea.
seems more like we got a bunch of money from GTA 3 and some clout, and we're gonna use that because we like this movie a bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like one of those. It's like one of those indie games that like Five Dudes in the Garage felt like. Oh, we love. There's a bunch of Parasite Eve stuff coming up, right? Like these indie devs are making spiritual successors to Parasite Eve because they love the game and no one else is doing anything with it.
exactly.
It felt like Rockstar was like, dude, the Warriors is awesome. What if we threw all
Yeah,
this GTA 3 money at Paramount?
yeah. Worked with them to give us the license so we can make a game out of it. What's the game gonna be? I don't know. Whatever. Um. So yeah, like I was like, but then yeah, once you're in it, man, it's a really good experience. I was pleasantly surprised. Oh, you know what, dude? I just saw Surfing H3O was published by them. I'm looking to see
Oh,
like what other
there you
stuff
go.
from this era.
There was
I know.
we in that magazine deep dive, they had a pool game too.
I'm looking. I'm
I,
looking.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I don't see it. They published Austin Powers Oh Behave for the Game Boy Color. They didn't develop it, but
I did not
uh,
know there was an Austin Powers game out in the wild. Man, I
oh
know
yeah, dude, the
nothing.
game, yeah.
Dude, just I'm the epitome of the nothing Jon Snow when it comes to video games because that magazine has enlightened me, and that's just one issue.
There's a lot.
Sea
There's a
Dogs
lot.
floats in my head continuously through
Good.
February or through January into February. It just exists in my head. Like, dude, there's a game out there called Sea Dogs that I had never heard of.
See if it carries all the way to August.
It might.
um. Anyway, yeah, I'm peeking. Like, there's not much else, and like, they haven't done another You know what I mean? Like they kind of get to the point where they're. I mean, LA Noir was a departure from a lot of their norm, but otherwise it's just been GTA and Red Dead and whatever.
I played LA
Um,
Noir, so don't worry. Don't worry. That's not a missing
yeah,
page
yeah,
in my book.
yeah. My point is, yeah, I like kind of knowing where Rockstar had been. I had some assumptions on what this would be, and I was pleasantly surprised with the moment to moment gameplay. It's fun. Like if you like running around in a Grand Theft Auto and just sort of like interacting with the world, they're using the same engine. Like it's still that same kind of thing, but I do like that if you look at it as this is a beat 'em up, this is a brawler, this is, one of those things but done in a more uh not contemporary setting, like story wise because it's set in 1979, but contemporary like 2005 gameplay wise, it's a cool reinterpretation. And I'm like honestly surprised we haven't seen more third person beat 'em ups like this since then. So, um,
Well, we played one. Don't forget.
Fighting Force,
Yeah, Fighting Force. Yeah.
yeah, I never forget that. That just hit another one. Look, I don't think we talk about this too often on the show, but Matt and I have seen in the last what 4 or 5 seasons since we've been doing this
Season
style of thing, or since we've
10,
been
now
doing the list.
4 and
Um,
point whatever now we're at. Yeah.
we've seen a lot of games that we've added to the list where we like plucked these things from, oh, I'd never heard of this, I want to play this, or oh, this is this thing I thought everybody forgot about. They're all coming back, man. Re-releases or reboots or sequels to. We've had all these things like pop up. Um, I don't, yeah, countless. But yeah, Fighting Force was one. It just dropped the collection like last 2 weeks ago, something like that. Anyway, I think we've anything we didn't talk about on the Warriors.
No, I think we hit it.
I know we were kind of like broad strokes on some of this stuff, but I didn't want to get into too many spoiler things because
No, I think I was very heavy when we first started. When I first started it, talking to you, I was like, I feel like you really not gonna watch the movie to appreciate this. But I think after I wrapped it up, I'm like, I'm in the do what you want to do with it. If you want to watch the movie, go for it. If you feel like you don't have, because the movie's like 90 minutes. If you don't have 90 minutes to sit down and you don't really care about it, just play this, because I think the gameplay will carry you, and then you'll get to like the characters, and then you may watch the movie afterwards, see how they portrayed it.
yeah, it did. I think this worked fine without seeing the movie, but I also see where having watched it, I'd have a little bit more like ooh context and excitement around it. So
Yeah, and again, this isn't like going back to what I've said a couple times already. This isn't Rockstar didn't make this game because this '79 movie called The Warriors is some fantastic masterpiece of
right.
cinema. Like it's, I have fun with it. I'll put it like that. I had fun with
Yeah,
it. It
but
was a good 90-minute watch with a couple with some snacks and a beer or two. Like,
sure. Um, why don't we rank this on the list, which you can find over at thefreecheese.com/the list, or if you're watching the video version, it's on the screen right now.
I'll go first since you went first last week. I'm
Yeah.
very curious where you put this though after our conversation, because I don't know, I just had this feeling you weren't gonna like it.
I liked it fine enough. You know what I mean? Like I had an overall good time with it.
So I have it as my new 86, directly
Ooh.
between Animal Crossing and Bully, with Bully being the one on top.
So we had a similar approach, it seems, because I looked at the list and I knew I liked Bully better than this ultimately. However, I'm a little bit lower than you. I had it at 98.
Oh, okay,
I
we're not
fell
that far
down
apart. Okay.
where I felt like I liked Snatcher was the one for me where I felt like I couldn't go above Snatcher.
Okay.
And then D2's there, and I'm like, I think I like D2 more than this.
That's a weird.
Even
Yeah.
though I think this plays a lot better. Like you can play
D-
this without much frustration.
you don't get a game like D2 that has 5 different games mashed into one, very obviously in different segments.
Yeah.
Uh, he
But then, like,
said
thinking of
98.
like some of our frustration with Incredible Crisis a couple weeks back, I like this more than Incredible Crisis. So that was where I landed there. But
Yeah, I like Bully better, as I think the university, that was just a weird. I can't believe that worked as well as it did, despite all the
it
moving
did. It really worked.
parts.
Yeah.
With that, and the mission structure is more familiar to a GTA, where there's like it's not. Like we have mentioned before, the Warriors was just every mission ended up in brawling with the opposing gang. Still fun.
Yeah.
I never not had fun with it, but Bully's mission structure got. I wasn't using my slingshot every mission. I was doing
Yeah.
devious
And you had
acts.
some real big variety. You had like some were sneaking, some you had to go light fireworks at a thing to scare. Yeah. It was a
Yeah. So I think Bully's the better game from this era. I agree with that. But no, I looked at Animal Crossing and I was like, well, like Animal Crossing's not my jam. I was like, I kind of like this better than Demi Kids. And I didn't go too much further down because I was just like, this might be like the Rockstar double pack right here.
yeah, I hear you.
But like, hmm, Snatcher's interesting. Like, these damn Kojima games, dude. What the hell did we do?
We botched the list, man. That's what we do. That's
Like,
how it rolls.
for me, Snatcher though, I think is the one outlier. Until
I agree.
I think I like this better than the rest of the stuff until Snatcher. D2, I think I'm on the fence. D2 it's messy though. I like it's a unique game. I there are like 2/5 of that game that I hate playing, and the other 3/5 that I love.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, let's do it. Let's climb up. I have no qualms with putting this up below Bully. The new
New,
86.
yep.
Boom. The Warriors. I'm really proud of where we're at with the list this year. So far, we've really been like
See your
hanging out in
reason.
this bottom bit. I know, but like even being down here doesn't feel bad. Like I feel like, but hey, we're pushing 200, right? Like we're gonna be
Yeah,
in.
like not every game is a 10 out of 10. This is, if there's anything that in the 4+ years of putting this list together
Yeah,
that I want the listener to learn is there is nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10 game. Nothing wrong with it.
look,
If it's in
no,
your
but also
genre and in
like
your wheelhouse, you're going to love it.
exactly. Last week, I gave pretty decent praise to Cooking Mama, but I think my final score on that was like a 6 something. I also don't think there's anything wrong with a 6. A
Yeah.
6 is a good game.
Again, I think once you get into the 6 and 7s, it's the genre dependent and your flavor
Sure.
or whatever. But yeah, man, like there's a 5 out of 10 game out there that you're gonna love, and I probably
I
have played one too.
Yeah, I got probably a good bit of those, I would assume. Um, all right, well, I have to ask, what other late 70s, early 80s movie needs a Rockstar video game adaptation?
The answer, I gotta see what year it came out, and I'm cheating because I just looked at the list. Hold on. Nope, that's not how you do Google.
I would say my gut reaction to this was
Wait,
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Because you could bounce in between all the characters, you could play as
definitely do that.
as
And I was way off on the date of this movie. Shows my age.
what'd you
I
have?
was thinking cliffhanger. Listen.
They did that already.
No, but right.
When was that? 93?
It's 93. Yep.
Man, I'm good. Uh Yeah, but I feel like Fast Times, you could spend a bit playing as Brad as a fry cook or whatever at the place, and then he gets fired, and you got to play as the delivery guy taking the fish and chips to people. Play as Sean Penn hitting yourself with a shoe.
Oh, no, that's 89. What the hell? Why is it? Why did that come up in my search?
What you got?
I typed in 80 early 80s action movies and I saw Roadhouse pop up, but it's 89.
I can't believe it was that late.
Unless they
If we're
redid
going
it or
late
something.
70s, we could go House, the Japanese horror movie.
Kind of I don't. Well, that'd be weird. That'd be
I know.
bizarre.
It'd be a fun time. You could do what's the other one? I'm looking. Purple Rain, Weird Science. Those could be fun.
Oh, here we go. Escape from New York. Kurt Russell, the original Snake Plissken.
Yeah, that'd be a good time. A Rockstar developed Escape from New York. Just do a like an online expansion and call it Escape from Liberty City. I'd buy it. I'll buy GTA Online for that. Do you have to buy GTA Online now separately? Is that how that works? I don't remember.
Ooh, no, it's free to play, I think. Or is it still just with Grand Theft Auto 5? Man, we're old.
Dude, here's the other thing. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5 is old enough that like kids who were born then are now like 13.
I was a senior in college. That was a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, I know. Soon we'll be dead. Stay tuned. Uh, but not next week, probably. Next week we'll be back to talk Ute Tower. Stay tuned. I'm stoked to talk about Ute Tower.
Yep.
Ute Saito is a treasure to mankind and has provided the world with some of the most interesting video game experiences. Come back and talk about Ute Tower with us
I'm going to be bringing.
next.
I'm gonna bring back a quote from an old friend of ours from a previous game when it comes to talking about U Tower. So stay tuned on that one.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What's the word? I don't know the word. Terrified? Terrified to hear. Final call for a late 80s game that needs a Rockstar movie. Heathers. Make that happen. All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Matt. Thank you all for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.